Hey, there's another video I wanted to answer, and that was based on the video that I posted earlier about what you could realistically make with if you have $100 to trade, and what you could realistically make in crypto using the 2% theory. And somebody said, yeah, but that's based on you winning every single time. Which, yes, I do know that you're not going to win every single time, but we win a lot. So if you follow the signals in the last 60 days, no losses, which in the 2% theory, you literally learn how to win trades, how to not lose trades, how to go in when it's a sure thing, and how to not lose money. So even when you're in a losing trade, I'll show you how to not lose money. And this gives you a really good advantage because you're literally learning how to do it without losing money. Because most people just like go in and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna guess, da, 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 crypto, yay. No, you need to have like a strategy, and you follow the steps, and you ask yourself the questions, and you follow the rules. Because when you don't do that, you tend to lose more trades. That's why like you even see people losing, like, you know, those like bubbles that show up, literally those are people losing. And we actually use that to our advantage. So we use a lot of these things to our advantage. When you have all these like they're like little tricks and tips, but they're like strategies. And when you use them, you lose less and less and less. And as long as you win more than you lose, yes, you're going to grow. It doesn't mean that sometimes you won't lose. Like you could go like 60 days, no losses. Even on Instagram, I post a lot of testimonials, and you can see like even students are like, yay, 30 days, no losses. And that's because you learn not to lose. But like beginners are like,
I keep losing, I keep losing, I keep losing.
It's like, yes, because you need to take some training. You need to learn how to do it. It's like, would you learn how to fly a helicopter on YouTube? Like, yes, you could learn how to fly, but would you do it? No, because if you mess up, you could die. Like literally, would you learn brain surgery on, like, you know, just like researching? Of course you can. You could learn about all the tools. You could learn about how to do all the things, but really you need to like practice in a simulated environment, which for heart surgery, I'm pretty sure you practice on dead people. Okay, this video is getting a little gross, but yeah, basically, if you're surrounded with the right people, with the right team, you get the right help, and you learn the correct strategies, and then you're placed in a simulated environment and you practice like real training, then you actually have like a way better chance of winning. Like, wouldn't you want to have like a 99% better chance of winning than just like,
I have no trading, I'm just gonna learn how to trade crypto on my own. My friend said buy this coin, so I'm gonna buy it.
And like it's just beginner stuff. And like when you get used to it and you go through like a proper course, you're like, oh my God, I was doing this wrong, and I was doing this wrong, and I was losing because of this and this. So I'm not going to lose because I did this and this anymore. Even if you have the knowledge, you have to practice it. Even when you do it, you have to like really like put all the rules on like post-it notes, and like before you do a trade, like look, okay, does it match this criteria? Am I here? Like all the things, you need to really like go in it with proper knowledge and proper training. You don't just trade crypto because of something you read on the internet. Like that's the surefire way to lose your money. There are ways to learn things properly where you don't lose, and that's exactly why, like with practice and with experience, you don't lose. When you have like a mentor, like even if you just like followed my signals, you would have like 99% chances of not losing. And that's why like the signals I post in the signals group, it's always like, I'm really, really sure this is a good signal, and that's why I'm posting it. And at one point I actually got bullied because these specific people were asking me like, hey, I want more signals, why isn't there enough signals? But that's because there's a period of time where you shouldn't even be trading at all. Like, do nothing. And it's for a reason. It's for a reason that you don't trade every single day. It's for a reason, like, because if you did, you could lose. And if we're in like that period of time where you could lose, we don't trade. Okay, and then I found out later, anyways, doesn't matter, but I found later that they were just like copying my signals and reselling them to their own group. And like, I find that quite funny because like you're too late. You're too late. And it's like you want to get it from the source. So that's why you're most likely, you're not going to lose, most likely, because we definitely do more wins than losses. Like our losses are pretty rare. And if you do lose or you're losing, you could also cut it. So if you're going like too high leverage and you're freaking out, just cut it and like do it again. It's not a huge deal to like have a loss. It's like, yeah, you have a failure, but like you just pick yourself back up and continue trading. Like you just keep going. And that's why we win. That's why we win over and over and over again. And that's why you see my trades, they're like big trades, because like I could go in higher leverage because I have experience and it's easy for me. But as a beginner, do you go in on high leverage? No, you do not. So leverage, I'll tell you real quick, it's like if you have $100 and you go 10x, it's like you're trading with $1,000. So like you're making more money on less money. And yeah, you're risking that $100, but it's like you're trading with $1,000. So it's way more profitable. And when you get really good at it, you could increase your leverage. But when you're a beginner, do not increase your leverage. Don't do that. When you're a beginner, trade with like no leverage. You could still make money trading with no leverage. So that's why beginners that have zero knowledge and they're like, oh, this is easy because it was showed as like super simplified. Like it does become easier. Like it's easy for me. I say that crypto is easiest because it's the easiest way to make money. It's easier than e-commerce. It's easier than Instagram. It's easier than social media. It's easier than being an influencer. It's easier than so many things. Crypto's like, you could just do it in your pajamas, on your phone, or at home, or whatever. Like, you don't have to go to work and you can make money. You can make an income from it. Like, it's easy. It becomes easier. But when you're first learning, you do have to go through like a period of time where it's not easy because you're learning. Like, once you get through that period of time, it's like when you learn how to drive, you go through that period of time where you don't know how to drive and you don't know how to parallel park, but you like have the knowledge. You're like, oh yeah, I just do this. And then like I reverse and like I try not to hit the car behind me and in front of me. And you know, but it's only like once you're in that simulated environment and you like practice and go and do it, it becomes easier and easier the more you do it. And then you could like parallel park like that. And now they even have cars with cameras in them, so you could like back up and you could see. And that's what like the 2% theory training is. It's like a camera in your car, so you could see when you're reversing because you have this like extra lens, like this extra help. And that's what it is. And if you're trading with that help and with that extra camera, that lens, you could like see into the future a little bit, just a couple minutes ahead, and you get better at it because you have like all this help. But if you're like on your own and you're trading crypto, it's going to be a lot harder. It's like people, like if you're riding a bike with square wheels and you're like, be quiet, I'm busy. And you have like these square wheels. It's like, oh, okay, you have to like make your wheels round and then you go easier, but it's going to take you probably like, you know, a week or something to make your wheels round. And you're like, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to make my wheels round because like I'm pushing with like my square bike. It's the same thing. It's like people trading crypto with zero knowledge. It's like, what are you doing? Why would you do this to yourself? Like, you're just going to learn by losing. And that's like the mentality of most people. They don't want to like invest in themselves to get better. Whereas if you just like invested in yourself, your life would just be easier. Everything would just be easier. You'd get better. You'd be faster at things. Like something that could take you a year to learn, all of a sudden you're learning in like a week. It's like,
oh, no, I don't have the money for that.
But I'll spend like $10,000 losing my money in crypto because I don't want to like spend the money to invest in my own training. You know, it's like doctors and lawyers and engineers, they all go to school. They all learn. And that costs money. Like I learned how to be a programmer. It cost me like $16,000 in just fees, like just my tuition. But then you got to think like there's all these other expenses. Like education, you need the education and you'll be in a better position. Yeah, so I think like if people are losing, it's because they don't have the proper education. And that's the whole reason people lose. Because even like people that like take the class and they're like, oh, I lost, but it's my fault. Like I know what I did. It's because like that comes with practice, and that's why you have to practice in a simulated environment. Because even when you know you're supposed to do something, you still get like caught up in FOMO, like fear of missing out, and like you know you're not supposed to, but the emotions get to you, and that comes with practice. Because we're not robots. And a lot of trading really is emotional, but we're not robots. So yeah. Definitely take something. Like it doesn't have to be my training. You can take like another training It's just, yeah, I know that mine is good, and I know that I'll be there to help you, as I've helped so many other people. Like, I'm sure if you look at my Instagram, in my highlighted stories under testimonials, I have like tons and tons of them, because it works. It simply works. And the proof is in the pudding. I could even show you the last 60 days. I could show you like a little video. I'll put it in here. And you could literally see the signals. And you could see it's like win, 10%, 24%. Like, imagine like people in real estate, which is the old school way of making money. And yes, it works, but it's, you know, there's a lot of things to it. It's like if you make 10% return on your investment in a year, like you did well. Like, you did really, really well. But in crypto, we can make 10% in a day. Like, that's crazy. Now imagine making that 1 to 4 times a day. And that's what we're doing. And that's why it's like super good. So yeah, stop losing, start winning, and take some training. Sharpen your saw, invest in yourself. I have a link below for more detailed training. And don't trade too much. Relax, lower your leverage, go slow. And I'll see you soon. Bye.